Cool, cool. Any new fight dates?
Karan Davis is supposed to be fighting Elijah Garcia June 15th.
What you think about that right now? You guys are up there.
Good.
That's next week.
Yeah. Be
Talk
a
to me
good
about
fight.
that.
Be a good fight. We're gonna see what happens on fight night.
We spoke upon this fight obviously before, because obviously of the situation. What was that again? What went wrong with Elijah last time? Sick.
I don't know exactly what wrong with him, but he had some kind of illness and he had to pull out the day of the weigh-in.
So let's talk about preparation a little bit without going too in detail. Like as far as the last time that he was supposed to fight, what card was that again, Coach? It was the 30th.
Um, Tim Tszyu versus Sebastian Fundora.
Correct, exactly. So preparating for that fight and this fight, the longer layoff of that, has it been a better thing? Do you think that's better?
Um, we we kind of we kind of just continue where we left off. I like gave him a little time off so his body could come down a little bit, and then we just went right back to work.
Okay, okay. Um, as far as this fight, what does this fight mean to you as the coach? Because I know you was heavily invested in the first time around.
And you know what, man? Every fight's the biggest fight of my life. That's how I look at it as a coach. I don't train any guy that I don't have a caring relationship for. So everybody, whoever is next up, that's the biggest fight of my life. I give them all I got. And Karan is like a son nephew to me. So obviously, I'm taking this camp. I'm taking this fight very serious. And yeah, I mean, it's a big deal. The kid is ranked number one by the WBA, Elijah Garcia. So this fight could catapult Karan into a title shot or another huge opportunity. So it's very, very, very important for us and moving forward with his career. And with the landscape of the way things is going right now, it's important.
That's for the WBC interim as well, right?
No. This is there's no belt on the line. I just know Elijah Garcia is ranked number one by the WBA.
Oh, okay, okay. So I got it wrong. All right then. So, what's your prediction?
With Karan and Elijah Garcia,
Yeah.
uh, Karan Davis gets the win.
Okay. Enough said. I like it. I like it. Were you able to see 5-on-5 this weekend?
Yeah,
Queensberry Sweet.
that was really shocking to me. That I didn't really pay attention to like which guy was Kingsbury and which guy was Matchroom, until the end, and I kind of said, "God damn, all the Queensberry guys won." That was like crazy matchmaking. Like I never seen that before. I didn't like imagine that one side would be that superior to the other side.
Do you think that kind of do you think we'll see these type of things in the future more? I mean, obviously Saudi Arabia is planning on doing more of this, but as far as like other promotional companies and stuff like maybe PBC Top Rank type of thing, or I don't know.
I do, and especially because that takes the financial burden off of the promoter, and somebody else is paying for the fights. So I can't. If I was a promoter, I would do that also.
Mm, I like it. I like it. So let's dive in. What was your favorite matchup?
Good question. Shoot, I was really intrigued by four of the matchups. I was intrigued by the guy Hamza versus Ammo Williams because I know both of the trainers. Ricky Funes is my guy, and Kevin Cunningham is my guy. So I was intrigued by that, and also I was intrigued because I got fighters in that division. I was intrigued by Raymond Ford and Nick Ball because Raymond Ford is from the Philadelphia area, and I know his trainer Reggie, and I was intrigued because I kind of root for him because I never forget when B.J. Sanders talked shit about him surrendering against Joe Joyce, and you know made him, that wasn't cool to like, sit around and say, I'd rather get carried out on my back than go down on my knee. And then you fight Canelo and then you quit. You know what I'm saying? You get the same injury he do. You go back to the corner and you don't even try to fight through it. So I thought that was a shitty thing to do to go public and say that. And I saw how the UK was coming down. Sanders got hit and then went back to the corner and just let him just stop the fight. He didn't even want to fight no more and then kind of just gave up on boxing. The Bulls, on the other hand, turned his career around and is fighting the best he ever fought and came off of his two best career victories. So I'm very, very impressed with him, and I'm glad that he showed the perseverance and the heart that Billy Joe Sanders did not show after he suffered the same injury. If that's not the best case of karma I ever seen in boxing, I don't know what is. So I was like, intrigued by how his career would turn out. And obviously the Wilder Zhang fight was the main event. That's a big deal.
Right, right. So, one of my favorite fights, also, like you said, was the Raymond Ford fight with Nick Baldwin. Now, that fight, it was a very close fight. Do you think that the right man won?
It was a close fight. I never really watched fights with a pen and piece of paper. Um, it was a close fight. It Ford has the kind of style. When he was coming up, he had a couple of like close, funny fights like that. He got a draw. He got another fight. I was looking at. He got a kind of style where he waits a lot, and he's good with shelling up, and he's a good body puncher. But you know, he doesn't have a dominating style against a guy that's putting a lot of volume on him. And he's a decent puncher, but he's not a lights out puncher. And if you sitting and you waiting like that, you better be really cracking guys and hurting them. He's more of a guy who gotta like but Shakur uses his feet a little bit more, uses his jab a little bit more. Um, so it was close. Watching the fight, I'm like, damn, Ford got let his hands go a little bit more or stop standing there so much. Um, So I'll put it this way: I don't think it was a robbery. Nobody can really complain that he lost. That kid was working. You know what I mean? And the judges don't know if all of those shots is getting through. A lot of them was getting blocked, but some of them the uppercuts was getting through. So Ford should be able to watch the film and make some adjustments and come back and and be good. He's a talented guy.
So, as far as, do you feel like the weight played a factor? He's said a lot about moving up, and also, you know, do you feel like the rematch would be something to do if you in his favor as a coach?
Um, well, I think the rematch is out of the question right now because Nick Ball won. So why would he move up to fight a guy, allow him to be more comfortable? He just won a belt at 126. So
Right.
just logically thinking, if I was part of team Nick Ball and we didn't have a rematch clause, I'm not going to move up to fight a guy so he could feel more comfortable and I just won the title. I would dictate the terms. And then Raymond Ford wanted to fight me again. He would have to fight me at the weight I just beat him at. So that's just me. I don't know what Nick Ball's team is going to do. I don't know if the weight played a factor. I'm not his. I don't train him. I know, so you can't. I can't really say if the weight played a factor, but I do know that if a fighter keeps saying the weight plays a factor, it's in his mind. And once it's in your mind, you know what I mean. You know how that goes. Your mind start believing things once you start saying it. Um, what I will say is that he had some trouble at fights at 126 where he lost rounds and had some close fights. So I don't know if it's the weight or his style. His last fight, in fact, he was losing, in my opinion, and he had to come on late. So he showed good stamina down the stretch in his last fight, and he definitely pulled that out. But that guy was outboxing. Um, So I don't know. You know what I mean? Usually guys don't finish so strong if they having weight issues, but I can't say if the weight is bothering him because I don't know his body. He knows his body better than I do. 130. That's the way you could tell the weight was an issue.
I remember talking to you about this fight on your reactions when Raymond got the title, and I remember you saying, Brad, you know, he keeps saying I want to move up, and you're not understanding, you know, why they're putting them in this situation. Um, Now that there's no rematch clause, how do you feel about that?
That's his team. I never like that. I don't want to badmouth anybody's team because I don't know how much the kid made. I don't know what he was promised. I don't really know all of that. I'm sure that that he
Say
was
if it wasn't
very.
a million. Say if it wasn't a million. It
If
wasn't.
it wasn't $1 million,
Yeah, say hypothetically it wasn't.
you know what? I'm gonna tell you something, man. What's a lot of money to one person may not be a lot of money to somebody else. So I don't even know what Raymond Ford's career high purse is, and I don't know what his financial status is amongst his family. So I can't really say that. Fighter, I'm not gonna say who it was. He asked me to pull him out of a fight because it was a tough opponent. He was like, I don't know about the style matchup. And I said, settle down. You're going to be okay. We're going to get this guy out of here. Don't worry about it. Sometimes your mind could think certain things and and it not be true. And we went in there. We knocked the guy out in the sixth round. You know, my daughter,
Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. He's just going little technical difficulties. And he'll get back into reception real soon. He's just driving. Probably going through a bad spot. But smash the like button while we waiting for him to get reconnected again. Also, that helps improve the visibility of the show so that way we can enjoy this interview even more, right? Here, we'll set up the backdrop. So when he gets here, it'll look better. Up, I'm starting to hear the audio back.
I don't want to say his team did a bad job because I can't say that. You know what I mean? That was a big platform, and it was a winnable fight. It was a very winnable fight. So, hopefully he did make $1 million. I don't know what he made, but I hope he did. I like to see everybody eat.
Okay. Okay. Um, Coach, can you do me a favor? Could you come out and come back in?
Okay.
Thank you. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash that like button. We have a few interviews today. So if you like content like this, go out your way to hit the like button and show some love. He's back. Perfect. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right, cool. So, now as far as I like also the Bivol fight, I have some questions for you on that fight. Obviously it was a late replacement, and Beterbiev got hurt in training camp. I'm assuming, and this replacement, he got the stoppage. What do you think about his performance though? And did you learn anything different from Bevo this time around? Even the last time around, and how do you see him going against Beterbiev in that same time?
I'm very impressed with Bivol. He's a consummate boxer. A lot of guys box, but they box lazy and they give stuff up in spots. And and he don't give you nothing. He's always very reactive. He's always very alert. He's always bouncing. He's always using his jab. People criticize his style, but I respect consistency and effectiveness. And he doesn't have the most exciting style, but that Joker can fight. He knows what he's doing in that ring. And with Beterbiev having a knee injury coming into this fight, Bivol's chances just got better. Because you got to have legs to beat. Not you. He's gonna make you work. He really understands how to box. He's a humble guy, but you could tell that he's in there to get it. So I respect dude. He can fight. He one of the 10 best fighters in the world. He doesn't get a lot of knockouts, but I think that's just because he just don't like taking chances. He's the consummate boxer, and once he puts you in your place, he's very conservative. He's the kind of guy that's not going to take chances and try to score knockouts when he doesn't have to. Floyd Mayweather was like that. Once Floyd Mayweather moved up to 147 pounds, he rarely scored a knockout in the fight. Very, very rarely. Most of his big wins have been 12 rounds, unanimous decisions. So, you know, Bivol's a guy he's worried about just getting the win, and I respect him. He's a hell of a fighter. Uh, I, I I favored Beterbiev when the fight was first announced, but all of these injuries and all these layoffs and him being close to 40, it does give me pause with my prediction. But if he's back 100%, I still favor him because I just feel like that he boxes better than people give him credit for, and nobody can take his punches. You know, it's just hard to take his punches, man. He has this little weird right hand. He hits you up behind the ear over and over again, and everybody seems to be hurt by it. So I just feel like that's going to be just tough to deal with a guy that's used to seeing that style, that was probably a better amateur than Bivol, and he punched like that. His punching power is real, and his boxing ability is real because it's not just punching power. He got to land it, and he lands it every fight. So I think that his boxing ability gets very underrated. He does some very, very clever stuff. I was watching this fight with Callum Smith the other day, and man, it was just clever. He took Callum Smith's hook away. He knows how to get off to the side of you. His jab is better than people realize. He's a heavy load, man. So while I do respect Bivol, I still favor Beterbiev if his knee is cool.
Mm. Um, and obviously, I'm assuming by knockout
Yep,
with the
somewhere between 9 and 11.
oof. Now, did you have Beterbiev winning before that fight? Before watching Bivol this time around?
I always have Beterbiev winning.
Okay. Okay.
He ain't no joke, man. He not no joke. Not just through the media, fighters respect him, which is a little different. The
Hmm.
fighters in the gyms, they know better. Like, they don't want to, they don't want to deal with him.
Yeah,
They know,
because people quit. A lot of these guys been quitting in camp. Like they're willing to pay, and a lot of these guys are quitting early. Sparring
and
partner.
he nothing to play with, man.
Yep. And I
He not nothing to
noticed
play with.
watching some of those Olympic fights with him and Usyk, they were like very competitive too. So it goes to show you how where the limit could possibly be too. Even though he's a little older.
And he dropped Usyk, and he fought Usyk at 201 pounds, which is a much more comfortable weight for Usyk than it is him. So he's a real deal.
Punch.
And listen, I'm not going. I don't make no excuses for anybody, but Usyk is like a horrible matchup for him in a 3 round fight. Usyk is taller, he's longer. The way he fight, he's always going to have the advantage in a 3 round fight. But you looking at them fights, you're saying to yourself, man, I wonder what this will look like if they fought 10 or 12 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Because the taller, longer, sharper guy in a 3 round fight, amateur fight, is always going to have a huge advantage. But when I'm looking at them fights, I'm like, I wonder how this would go if Usyk had to keep him off of him for a whole 12 round fight. Because he was closing the distance, and Usyk is like, he ain't running, but he moving frantically. Like, I don't want to get hit with this shit. And Usyk, we know what he is. We know how special he is.
So you want to
But
see it?
Beterbiev ain't no joke.
So you wouldn't mind seeing it?
Usyk and Beterbiev,
Absolutely.
I wouldn't mind seeing it, but in all honesty, Usyk may have outgrown them. Usyk just weighed 223. Beterbiev's weighing 175. That's a 50-pound difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you dealing at that level with that kind of skill, I don't know if he can give up 48 pounds and fight the man. You know, that's a lot to do. I know Usyk just did it with Tyson Fury, but Usyk's better than Fury. You know what I mean? Fury, if Fury was 6'3", 220 pounds, that fight wouldn't be even money. It would be Usyk. Usyk could be a 5-1 favorite to beat him. The reason why the fight was looked at as a pick 'em even money fight was because one guy is 6'9" and one guy is 6'3". One guy is 270 and the other guy is 220. So the size disadvantage was so much it made the fight even. Well, Beterbiev is 5'11", 175 pounds. Usyk is 6'3", 223. I don't know if Beterbiev can overcome that kind of size differential, especially not at 39 years old. But I'm not counting it against them. If they can figure out some kind of weight, that's still a hell of a fight. And I watched him knock Usyk down with a body shot. So, you know,
Yeah, and
it
he
still
can,
can happen.
and he closes the distance well.
And he's used to fighting those kind of styles. You know what I mean? That's the number one thing. He's used to fighting those guys that's on the bounce and on the probe and that style. He's seen it a million times as an amateur. So he's good with it.
Mm. Um, no, absolutely. I definitely 100% agree. Now, but also what I wanted to throw in there is that this guy must walk around at what, 190?
But Beterbiev, probably more than that. If he fought in the amateurs at 201, I'm just guessing. I don't know him personally, but if he fought at 201 in the amateurs in 2012, I'm guessing he'd probably walk around higher than 190.
Like he would have to work into that fight. I know what you're saying, and he is old. He's
Yeah,
getting older.
yeah, 100%. He's definitely getting older. I think he's what, 38, 39?
Yeah, 39. Um, Now getting into now that we're already talking about Usyk, let's jump right into the heavyweight fight. Obviously, Wilder versus Big Bang Zhang. Um, yeah. Talk to me about that fight. What do you think about how both fighters performed?
Um, Zhang did his homework. You know, every time Wilder would shoot a right hand, Zhang would rock back and shoot a hook, a right hook. And Wilder's face comes over his foot. He leans over when he shoots the right hand because he launches it. And Zhang was trying to land that hook all night long. He was just missing it, but he was trying to land that hook all night long. You watch that fight. That was his counter for Wilder's right hand. And he finally like clipped him right on like maybe the bridge of the nose or something. I don't know. And it made Wilder kind of be a little bit disorientated. And then he ran up on him and cracked him. You know, people were saying, why was Wilder complaining to the referee? I'm like, he was knocked out on his feet from that right hook. He was hurt. The first right hook hurt him. And then Zhang just, man, that was a bad knockout. That was bad.
Because when he hit him, he just went a 360 into a hook. Boom.
That he never saw coming. That was
Hmm.
bad. Bad. Then he hit his head on the canvas.
Good call for the referee, I believe, as well.
Well, I'm a guy that likes to see conclusive endings, but when you spin around like that and you knocked out on your feet and then your head slam on the canvas, you know, maybe he could have let it go, but who's going to complain about that? Nobody wants to see a guy get, you know, killed in the ring. You know what I mean? So I'm usually a guy that wants to see conclusive endings, but I'm okay with that stoppage.
Yeah, because Zhang is gonna really hurt you permanently.
Yeah, he's a big puncher, man. Big puncher, and he's very coordinated.
So, as far as game plan, do you think that there was anything that Wilder could have did to make this more of a competitive fight?
Um, you know what? I'm gonna talk about it from a different aspect.
Okay.
I feel like that when an intimidating fighter, you know, I don't want to use the word exposed, but when people see that they're normal and they're human, that Wilder is dealing with something that only all-time great fighters can deal with, and that is everybody is confident in fighting them. Everybody looks at him like, man, he's not that good. Man, if you take away the right hand and you don't give him any extension, then he's not that good anyway. I'm not saying he's not, because I actually am a big fan of Wilder's and think that he's a heck of a fighter, even though he's a little bit one dimensional. But I think that now that all of the opponent's confidence is so high with going with it, going against him, that it's making it that much harder. Because now all everybody's doing is just pressing them, not giving them no room to throw the right hand, and just firing on them. Because Wilder don't have a commanding jab, he don't really have a lot of leg strength where he can hold his ground and keep you in the center of the ring. And his right hand is devastating, but it's only devastating from one range. He kind of needs to muster up the momentum to get the shot in on you. It's not like a short little Joe Louis right hand where he can just boom and just turn over at the shoulder. It's a long, hard right hand where he needs momentum. And Wilder's a big puncher, but he don't have a lot of physical strength, which is two totally different things. People don't realize that. It's guys that I know that's strong as hell and not big punchers, and it's guys that I know that are big punchers but not that strong. You get some guys that are both, so he's not, people push him around. He's not the strongest guy physically. He has little itty bitty legs and he's just not strong physically. So I just think that now it's not so much the game plan, it's just that the opponents are so confident because they seen what Tyson Fury did to him. It'll be really, really tough for him to turn his career around at this point. You know what I mean? It will be really tough because then everybody's second guessing. Well, what should we do? Should we do this? Should we do that? What weight should he come in at? Like
Yeah,
they're trying to find
people
things.
are actually, there's channels asking the media, hey, is he a hype job? So you're right. People are going that deep.
Yeah, you're going to start second guessing everything. It's a very, very tough position to be in, if you're Wilder's team handlers. It really is. Like, well, you being protected. How come he didn't fight this guy? He would have. He never was good. How hard does he really punch? And guys could say they don't get on social media. They all get on social media. They all listen to it. So his brain has to go through all of that, and it's really it's tough. I'm not going to say it's a shame because this is a dog eat dog sport, but it's a tough position to be in. And I hear people saying stuff about Malik Scott, and I don't spend time with them in camp. I have no idea, what they do or what they don't do. But what I will say is this: Malik Scott got him after the second Tyson Fury fight. Tyson Fury beat the hell out of Wilder that fight. I think he broke something on the side of his face. That was the most dominant fight out of the three fight series. He destroyed Wilder. He won every round and stopped him. So Malik Scott got him after that fight. So the very next fight that he took after about a year and a half off was the Tyson Fury trilogy fight. So he could have been damaged. Malik Scott may have inherited a damaged fighter, not in the physical beating that he took. So don't know the second fight. The one where he wore the mask to the ring and he said Mark Breland put something in his drink. That's a lot going on. You know what I mean? So I do kind of feel bad for Malik Scott because look at the situation that he had to go into. And I hope he's getting paid well, man, because he's taking a lot. He got him. He can't help when he got Wilder. He got him during those times. Um, but the only thing I'll say with the game, Wilder should do what he does best is what got him there. Find a position to launch that right hand. You know what I mean? Like sometimes
You froze up, Brad. Brad, if you can hear me, if you could come out and come back in, because you froze up. Yeah. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button. I released him out so that way he could come back in. We need Brad to find somewhere he can get better service. Yeah. Brad's a busy guy. He's been training Kyron Davis for, next week's fight. So it is what it is, you know what I mean? But what we need you guys to do really though is hit the like button so we can improve the visibility of the show. That way we can have a stronger, hit the like button. Let me text him, tell him to come back in. That's right. But we can't hit the like button, right? That will help us, right? He'll come back. Who's Kyron Davis fighting? Elijah Garcia. They were supposed to fight before, and now they're about to get it. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel. He'll be coming back, just getting better reception. Salute to all y'all, though. You know what I mean? There's no way we got that many people on here with this many likes. Come on, he's back. Come on, guys. Hit the like button. I can hear you, yeah, but I just can't see you. Cool. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button. We're getting it right for y'all. All right? All we need is some love. Hit the like button. Hit the Cash App as well, Mill City Boxing. Hit the super chats. Refresh that, John, too. You know what I mean? I don't think that, what? Well, we got Coach Breadman on here. What's going on? Where the love at? Also become a member of Mill City Boxing. Salute to all the members in the chat right here. Bam Bam Boogie in the building. What's going on? Bam Bam Boogie. Who else we got up in here? What other members we got up in here? See Bam Bam Boogie in the building. Bang Bang. Shoot. It's just you and I right now, Bang. It's just you and I. Salute to everybody in the chat, though. Dexter Norwood, Richard. Salute to all y'all, though. Mills, ask about the up-and-coming boxers. Brother, we have so much to talk about that I want to go straight into the heat. Is Coach Moses still coming on? Yes, he's coming on, but Moses will be coming on at around this time. Yeah. I think he might be. Let's see. Hold on. Make sure what time he's coming on. I'm gonna ask him. Salute. Breadman's back. True Sports Talk. What's going on? All right, we back.
Yo,
Yep, we can hear you.
so what was I saying, man? Um,
We were touching up on Wilder that Malik's give him a lot. Obviously, he got him. After the second Wilder fight, we were kind of in the conclusion of like is he over a hype, or is it his time to leave the sport right now? Those type
You,
of things.
you know what? I don't think he was overhyped because I never thought that the media ever thought that highly of him. It's not like he made any pound for pound list or anybody was he was the best, you know, heavyweight ever or top 10 or anything like that. So I never thought anybody. I used to always hear him get criticism for Luis Ortiz being the best fighter on his resume. But the funny thing is that he the only one for Ortiz before Ortiz got too old. Nobody else fought him. So I never thought he was overhyped. I thought that he used to actually get a lot of criticism, especially for a guy who had 10 title defenses. But right now, I just think that so much is getting to him. I see him doing all of these stuff when he's boxing. And before, man, he would just step in with that fast right hand and try to knock your head off. And I know I probably say this all the time, but the best piece of advice I ever got in terms of like boxing strategy is from Nazem Richardson. And he told me, very young trainer. I'm talking about maybe a year into being a professional trainer. He said sometimes being one dimensional is better than being multi-dimensional. Dimensional. He said because under stress, when you go in your bag, if you got a Uzi, a shotgun, and a handgun, you might be confused. But if you know what you're going to go get, and you can go get that one thing, you'll be able to go get it very, very quickly. And always stuck to my mind because quickness is in the mind, speed is in the body. So now Deontay is out there thinking, am I one dimensional? Should I? How is my right hand? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do that? And you could just see him out there. He's pausing all the time. He's waiting. He's thinking. And unfortunately, it's coming back to bite him because the 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 good trainers they see what works against them, and then the fighters that he's fighting are really really confident that, that they can beat him. You got everybody walking to that right hand because it's just one shot. It's not like a hook is coming, and it's not like he don't need room. So they just closing the distance and they just pressing him. And it's gonna be really tough for him, man.
Mm. Now, coming into some of these fights that are coming up, obviously we have June 15th, but before we have June 15th fights, we also have, Adrian Broner versus Blair Cobbs. And then, the whole top rank card this week. But definitely wanted to get your thoughts on Blair Cobbs and Adrian Broner and Blair Cobbs and Don King, hosting the event as well.
Um, you know, I used to train Blair Cox.
Really? That's
Yeah,
funny. I don't know.
I trained Blair Cox.
It's funny. We've done a lot of
Man, his
you and I've done a lot of interviews together, and it's funny. I've never mentioned Blair Cobbs to you. That's funny.
yep. I trained him. Me and his manager was really cool, and I trained him for one fight. I trained him for about 6 months. Yep.
Okay.
Really, really talented kid. Um, I think that this is a tough fight for Broner. Blair's really talented. Very, very talented. Very hard puncher, by the way. It may not look like it, but he's very fast, he's very hard puncher, and he's very talented. Um, and Broner got his work cut out for him, believe it or not. I know he's a bigger name and he's considered a better fighter. I haven't seen either one of them fight in a long time, to be honest. So it's hard for me to really give you an assessment around years. This was like, man, over 10 years ago that I trained him. But Blair's talented. He got to be about 34, 35 now. But I'm telling you, he's one of the hardest punchers I ever been around, pound for pound. He can really punch.
Whoa.
Yup. His hands were so hard, he didn't need to put hand wraps on in the gym. He could just put on like an old.
Hmm. This shit's getting good. This shit was getting good. Just we're going through a reception. I didn't even get to hear what you were saying because I heard that he would put small gloves on and he wouldn't even put hand wraps on and he would hit the heavy bag and then after got it distorted. Yeah.
Can you hear me now? I said he will put small gloves on, like the old school gloves, the old school ones that with the little
Yeah,
thumb on
yeah,
them,
yeah.
no hand wrap, and punch a hole in the heavy bag, bro. It's crazy. He got some of the hardest hands I've ever seen. So I'll just say this: I haven't seen either one of them fight in a while, but Broner got to be on this game to win this fight.
So, people were saying, that Broner's the bigger puncher in this fight. Who do you think is the bigger puncher?
Blair. I think Broner's the more experienced fighter, and Broner got a better all around game. Uh, um, but I think that Blair, one punch for one punch, Blair's the bigger puncher. Broner used to be a 30-pounder. You know what I mean? So Blair's bigger than him too.
He started at 40, right? Blair?
He was always like a tweener between 40 and 47.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, he could punch, bro. I wouldn't make it up. I don't have nothing to do with his career. I don't get no money off of him. He can punch.
Oh no, yeah. That's why we like talking to you regardless, you're intelligent and a lot of people are trying to figure out this fight. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, we haven't seen both of these guys fight in a minute. We do have Adrian Broner White. He's like a four division champion. Is he four or five? Four division champion. Trying to go for his fifth. Hopefully, get a title shot. But do you feel like this fight goes the distance? They say Broner
It
got a
could.
good chin.
And Broner knows how to not get stopped. If he don't know how to do nothing else, he knows how to not get himself stopped. So I'm not saying Blair is going to win or knock him out, but I think that's a really good chance to go to the distance. And if somebody were to get stopped, I would think it would be Blair over Broner because Broner's a very durable guy. But uh, I could see the fight going the distance. I can see the fight going the distance because of Blair's power. Like, I think that if Broner feels it, he might not want to go balls to the wall because I'm telling you, dude, cracking.
You said obviously that Broner got more game in his bag, right? But in the same time, do working with Blake Cobbs, does he have enough IQ? I know it's 10 years ago, but you know, 10 years ago, looking at what he had and then watching him in that between time, do you feel like he got the IQ to be able to be around a Broner?
Um, that's a good question. Right? And he got a first round knockout. So I don't want to pump it up and make it seem like I built him or anything like that. And it was so long ago. Here's what I will say: Broner's best chance set in of not being to go on championship rounds against a guy Broner's level, where Broner's hitting him to the body and doing other things to him and just wearing him out physically. I think that that's Broner's best shot is to kind of carry him fast, make him work harder than he want to work, and get him to the second half of the fight and go to his body. I think Broner got a chance then, but the first part of this fight, he's going to be dealing with a lot of electricity. I'm telling you, Blair is going to be launching it.
Mm, I like it. Who do you favor?
Man, to me, that's a really, really close fight. Really close to be 50-50. Shit. You know what, man? I don't like to not give an answer, but I haven't seen them fight in so long. I really don't even know what we get. I haven't seen Broner fight in like maybe like 5 years, and I haven't been around Blair since he moved out of Philly and went to LA or Vegas. I really don't even know what we getting, man. Best day for best day, Broner is a more accomplished fighter, but I mean, we don't know. Like, I mean, when was Broner's peak? 2013, 2012? We don't know. I have no idea. I really don't. People keep asking me, but I don't even know what we're gonna get.
Mhm. Now, I know that you told me to wait on what you thought about Paro. Were you able to see Paro at all? Because Matthias and is going to be fighting him. Not yet,
No, but I saw the odds. The odds are crazy, man.
but they got Matthias going crazy. What's
Yeah,
the odds looking like?
shit, like 10-1.
10-1, huh? We'll let
Yeah,
people. Wow,
so
that's
I don't really. That's a lot.
that's a lot, right? Do you look at Vegas spreads and does that kind of,
I do.
can you
I
talk to
do.
the fans about that and like how do you view
Shit,
Vegas?
they usually right about 75 to 80% of the time, but nothing is 100%. But they definitely usually right. But I'll beat the odds a couple times.
Hmm.
I'll beat them. So, but they are usually right about 75 to 80% of the time.
Right. Um, Now, obviously, wanted to touch up on, a little bit more because you're so educated in what's going on in the world of boxing today. Anything with Caleb Plant though? I mean, I seen a random flyer. I know it's not was nothing, but it had Munguia and him on it. I don't know.
That's not true.
That's not true. No date, right?
Right
Okay.
now.
Um, Now, um, we've had Henry Garcia on the show. We've had Bill Haney on the show discussing these situations with Ryan Garcia testing positive for VADA. When he got tested for VADA. And now all this stuff is going on, Coach. You gave us so much intel the first time around speaking upon this subject. As far as things are going and moving now, what do you see? What are you thinking? Like, what's your thoughts on all this stuff right
You know what, man? I'm gonna leave that alone. I don't even want to get into it, man. It's not my fight, not my fighters. I don't have nothing to do with it. People are at each other's throat over this stuff, man. And I just hope boxing gets it right. And I'll say this one thing: if you have an objective point of view, you let the evidence take you wherever the evidence goes. People are pushing the evidence the way they want it to go instead of the way where the evidence is going. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Just use your common sense. I don't want to get involved in this. I see people literally almost getting fist fights. And I always look at me like, yo, man, do you got anything to do with one of those fighters? It's not that deep to be arguing and fighting over guys that you're not working with, that you don't have any type of relationship with. You're just a fan of them. So as a coach, um, you know what I mean? I'm cool with Bill Haney. We speak. And Henry Garcia, I really don't know him. I met him in passing before, but I don't have nothing against Ryan or Devin. You know, whatever it is, it is. But I don't. I kind of we talked about it before, man. I knew it was gonna come to this, and a bunch of theories getting put out there and all that kind of stuff. And I don't like to get involved in that kind of stuff, man. You know what I mean? This fight against PEDs is fake to me in boxing. The whole thing is fake. I don't think nobody really cares. We the only sport where the participants choose when they get tested, how they get tested, when the testing starts. That's it's all ridiculous, man. It really is. I said I have a comment on it, but I got a comment on the testing in boxing. What other sport is it that that exists right now where you me if say me and you fighting, right? I could call you up and be like, all right, we're gonna fight on August 1st. Okay. All right. So when you want to start testing? Let's start testing June 14th. Okay, cool. That's how boxing is, bro. The testing don't even start until you sign it. Sign the contract. It's absurd. To be honest, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. You gotta be an idiot to get caught. You really do. You gotta be an idiot to even get caught because you get to pick when the testing starts and stops. So we're the only other sport that does that. They say they use the word random, but it's not random. It's just not. I don't know how to fix it, but I just know that we're the only sport that does that. Football, they knock on your door, test you. Basketball, they knock on your door, test you. Olympics, they testing you. Professional boxing, the fighters choose when the testing starts. How can it be random when the guy can choose when he starts? So I don't know. I just hope the best thing happens, and I hope that boxing doesn't get this wrong. That's what I hope. And I'll leave it at that. I hope they don't get this wrong. I hope the right thing comes about this. People got to take their emotions and their feelings out of it. I know that a lot of people don't like Ryan. A lot of people don't like Devin. A lot of people don't like Devin's dad. Got to take your emotions out of it and just look at the evidence.
And what in your eyes, you where we could get justification?
Then I'll be answering your question. You know, I just, I'm going to put it like this, man. To me, when you get into the extra stuff and when the burden of proof gets that high, you can't ever, you're never going to lose. Like now, we're not at a point whether it's either positive or negative. Now we're at a point. Did you know you were taking it? Did you not know you were taking it? Did this? You if once you start getting into that, the burden of proof is so high. This is higher than the court of law. You understand what I'm saying? If a fighter is responsible for what he puts in his body, a fighter is responsible for what he puts in his body. We can't get into did you know, did you not know, did you do this, did you because at that point the area becomes too gray. And I'll say this. I haven't heard one I believe that there's some really seedy characters in boxing that will give fighters stuff so they can perform high and feel really good about themselves. I do believe that. Because fighters, these guys aren't college educated. You get somebody come up to them and start talking some scientific stuff, and fighters' eyes open up wide, they start believing it, right? I haven't heard one fighter test positive and say, that guy right there gave me something he shouldn't have gave me.
Right.
Not once. Think about that.
Yeah.
These fighters aren't giving themselves this stuff. They're
Yep.
going to places and saying, I haven't heard one fighter say, you know what? I had a rotten egg in my camp. He gave me something that he shouldn't have gave me. I'll take the positive test, but this is not on me. This guy gave me something. And you know why that's never happened? I'm gonna tell you why that's never happened. Now, one guy ever says that because if you point somebody out, you know what that person is gonna say? Oh, wait a minute, you knew what we were doing, and they're gonna start producing emails and texts and all kinds of stuff, and then everybody gonna start snitching on everybody in the whole. I don't even want to use the word snitching because this is not the streets, this is the business. So if somebody gives you something illegal that they wasn't supposed to
Talent.
give you, then they're responsible. So you're not snitching if you tell the truth in that aspect. But the reason why that's never happened is because whoever that they throw under the bus for this is going to say, "Oh yeah, you really didn't know it. You didn't know what you were taking. Okay, here you go." And they're going to produce all kinds of receipts with text messages and phone calls and all that kind of stuff. So nobody ever tells wherever they got the stuff from to make them test positive. I've only seen this in one case. There was a guy, there was a strength and conditioning coach. I think his name was Daryl Hudson. He worked with Shane Moses. And Shane, there was something happening in court or whatever. And Daryl Hudson said he's lying. He knew what he was taking. He's a liar. And he went on the stand.
Well,
Somebody
well,
was getting sued or whatever, and he told everything. He said Shane Mosley knew exactly what he was doing. That's the only time I've ever heard that ever happen before. And I don't know neither one of them. But other than that, I
I
never
mean,
heard anybody say
Michelle
that.
Michelle Rivera left his team for the Frank Martin fight. He tested positive. He left his
Okay.
team and joined the Jermaine Ortiz team. I talked to him. He said that sometimes in boxing you can't trust the people around you.
Did he point out somebody that gave him something?
He said the word team. You're right.
Okay. Okay. Well,
He said the
props
word
to him.
team. So he just left the team, went to another team. You know,
Okay. Well, props to him. That's
he
still a
was
little
training
gray.
in Miami and he came down to
Yeah.
New England.
Yeah. Well,
So
props to him. But um, it's a very rare thing in boxing.
Hmm.
And he got suspended, didn't he?
Yes, he did, and he just
Mm.
and now he recently got that fight with Libanese. That was the last time he fought, and then since that Frank Martin fight.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but now Ryan is blaming Scooter. Assuming as far as some of the things that the substances that Scooter gave him in camp. I guess
Who's
he
Scooter?
the strength and conditioning coach
Oh,
that
I don't
was.
know.
Oh, you don't know Scooter from New York?
Oh, okay, 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 okay. So he's
So
blaming
he
him. Okay.
so he I guess Ryan's pointing the finger at him, and he actually was hired for the last 11 hours of Ryan's weight cut. Scooter Davis came onto the channel here and told us we have the content of him telling us what he gave Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia pointed the finger at him and said those are the supplements that he gave him.
I don't know. I don't know.
So I'm
See,
here just
see,
giving out
you know what I don't
interviews.
want to do?
I'm just doing
You know what?
interviews, and I know I'm trying to get to the so everyone could you know understand.
You 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 know what I don't want to do? I don't want to do the mental gymnastics, man.
Right.
I'm keeping it real with you, bro. I don't want to do the mental gymnastics. I don't want to do the mental gymnastics of just going through all of this. It's like draining. You get people asking you questions about something, and I know this is it's a word it's a term called due process. So now we at the point where the B samples tested positive. I saw a couple of theories about him being set up. Vada, Victor Conti, all these people were in it. Now that's changing a little bit, right? Now there's the contaminated substances. I saw the ashwagandha company came out and said, "Wait a minute, we didn't put anything in it." And then now I'm saying this other company come out and say, "Wait a minute, we didn't do this." So now there's a thing of the supplements where they tested, were they sealed when they were tested, or were these others? It's a lot of mental gymnastics. You know what I'm saying? And then you have people on both sides that say, yeah, 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 yeah. Look, he did it. Or no, 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 he's clean. I don't feel like all that because I don't have nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? So I kind of just like, whatever. I already knew this was going to happen. If you got a good lawyer, you can do all of this kind of stuff. Let everything play out. I want to hear what let the companies that he's accusing of giving him tainted substances, let those companies come out and defend themselves. Let's find out who's testing these bottles that are already open. Let's see all of these things. It's so much with due process, and the more money you have, the more lawyers you have, the more you can. You know where I'm going with this. So I don't. It's a lot going on, man. Like I said, we'll see. The fight was in New York. The New York State Athletic Commission is usually strict on this kind of stuff. So let's see. Let's see them give a statement. Let's see what their findings are. Let's see if they hire an independent investigator. I don't want to comment too much because it's so much stuff that's behind the scenes. If you make your ass out of yourself with assuming one side is right and one side is wrong, you'll just jump on the wrong side. Now it's not worth it to me to be willing to do all of that. I'm on the side of clean boxing. I don't want anybody to cheat in boxing. It's already a hard enough sport. That's it. I'm not on Ryan Garcia's side. I'm not on Devin Haney's side. I want clean boxing. That's it.
What do you think is gonna happen?
I think that Ryan Garcia is um, I think now the burden of proof is on him to prove whether the substances were tainted or he was set up. I can't tell you if he was or he wasn't because I really don't know. But I just think that if he was, he got to prove it. So now I'm waiting for him to prove his because science already did what it was going to do. The A samples were tested and the B samples were tested. So there's no doubt whether the stuff was in his system. So now we got to prove whether he was set up or he took the stuff inadvertently. And like he may have to retract some of his theories because if he took a substance that was contaminated, then he can't say Vada and Victor Conti and Devin Haney set him up because they didn't give him the substance. So I'm just waiting for the next step of whatever his theories are and whatever he thought happened. I'm just waiting to see if he could prove it because I've heard too many different things. I've heard ashwagandha. I've heard this other supplement that he was taking. I heard Victor Conti set him up. I heard Vada set him up. I heard Devin Haney set him up. So we gotta just see. And I'm not saying it didn't happen. I just want to see what they're proving and what they're not proving. And I don't want to jump to any conclusions.
Is this something that you want to know? Like, are you like when the news comes out and stuff like that? Like, you see how like I can see the anticipation. You know,
Sure.
you want the clean boxing. You know what I mean? I'm hearing it from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you feel like how big this is? They're about to do a press conference. I heard that this ain't the first time they did a press conference for something like this. But like, is this something? Have you seen this be so big ever in your life?
No, because Canelo's really wasn't that big like that. They just
No.
suspended him and he did his little hair test and he fought Triple G a year later. This is kind of like, this is
Why is
big.
that? Why do you think that?
I think because Ryan Garcia has a polarizing personality, and I think that he's like crying wolf. Like they set me up. So even if you don't believe him, you still have to give them the benefit of the doubt. You still have to say, okay, well, if they set you up, let's see where the evidence takes us. Because just because we don't believe something right away, that doesn't mean that over time that somebody can't prove it. So if he's claiming that he's set up, I think that now he's getting a chance to prove it. You know what I mean? He's really getting a chance to, show whether he was really set up or not. So I'm just, of course, if I'm involved in boxing as a professional, I want to see what the outcome is. But we shall see. The fight was what, April 20th? We're in June now. Let's see what happens.
I remember having this conversation with you that you had a conversation with Victor Conte about his situation. You said that I'm a clean coach. Um, you had a conversation with him. If things go left, I mean, are you the type of person that continues working with somebody like a Victor Conte if things do go that way, that left?
When you say left, if it's proven that Victor Conte set Ryan Garcia up,
Stuff like that, yeah.
oh no, I would never work with him again. If it's proven that he set him up. But listen, here's the thing. If Ryan Garcia took a supplement, right, that had Osterine on, because that's what his new defense theory is, then he's going to have to apologize for saying Victor Conte set him up.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm trying to say? That's why I'm not so fat. And I know Victor Conte has a pass. You know what I mean? And people say stuff like, who works with him? Let me tell you something, bro. A lot of snack fighters lose, and a lot of guys that are sponsored by snacks, they don't even go out there and train. I'm keeping it real with you. They don't go out there and train. Victor's getting old now. It's not guys. A lot of guys go out there and train like that. And that's just that. You might get the protein and the ZMA to go to sleep. He gives you a patch, sends you a couple of dollars, and that's it. It ain't like you out there and sticking needles in you. That kind of stuff, that's just something that people say on TV. I got fighters that want a couple extra dollars because they're not making any money. Bro, they'll get snacked. They haven't even met Victor Conte. I wouldn't lie to you, bro. They haven't even met him, let alone ever talk to him or been out there to the snack facility. It ain't like, but I let people say and do what they want and think what they want. It ain't that deep to me.
Yeah, yeah, because not now, like you said, you're in anticipation of wanting to know this, and like you said, you just if things go wrong, that you don't want to be a part of something that is that snakish, and I agree, and I'm
Oh
not
no, I
jumping.
wouldn't want to be part of nothing where a guy sets somebody up. But I'm just gonna tell you this: that's a very, very strong claim
Very strong.
that somebody got a hold. of your sample, put PEDs in it, and you tested positive.
To
And the
move.
claim has to match up with the evidence because now they're saying that a company sold them some kind of supplement that had ostarine in it. That's not me. That's what they're saying. It's something that has nothing to do with Victor Conti. The spokesperson from that company has come out and said, wait a minute, no, sir, this didn't happen. So now they're going to have to go back and forth. So this is a lot going on, man. And I'm not emotionally invested in all of that, but I am invested as a professional in what the total outcome is going to be.
Mm. Do you think that Haney should do the rematch?
Um, that's a great question.
Olympic style testing,
That's a great question.
weight class, hydration, or whatever you guys, whatever they want to do.
Um, I don't have an answer for that because you know doing the rematch is just not that simple. You know, Devin, he took a bad beat. He was hurt and hurt several times. He probably was concussed and in the fog for half of the fight. So no matter what we try to say from the outside for our entertainment, he took a lot of punishment. So to want him to go back in there with a guy who possibly use PEDs, um, it's tough to say. If he wants revenge, I'll be all for it. Like, go get that back. If I was his trainer, I probably would be for it. But being fair, looking from the outside coming in, it's a tough situation to be in. And that's up to him and his dad. A lot of times, man, guys don't want to give a guy a chance to make no more money. But the competitive spirit is in you is I want to get that back. I want to run it back. I want to run it back clean. We got to fight again. So let's see what the outcome is first before I say that, because Devin is going to have, once the world sees you lose, fighters are going to fight him different. Devin's going to have, I'm not going to say a tough time, but he's going to have to elevate his game to get past the visuals of what Ryan Garcia did to him. Every other fighter that fights him is going to be super, super confident in him, and now they're going to attack him with a lot of left hooks. They're going to chop right hands down on the side of his head. Ryan kept hitting me with a right hand. Like, they're going to look at the blueprint. All of the good coaches, everybody is going to be, you know, everybody and their mom at 140 is going to want to fight Devin. And God knows at 147. So, you know, Devin's in a tough spot, man. I don't like to feel bad for fighters, but I feel bad for Devin because if Ryan did cheat, nobody's going to care about that. They just going to care about what they saw. And people are already saying, well, he should have better defense. He should do this. He should do that. And I just be like, tough spot to be in. So whatever them brothers wish to do, I wish them the best. I'm not the one to say he got to fight him back because he's not my fighter. If it was my fighter, your winning spirit want to get it back, but that's not my fighter, and I don't know if he want to get back. And I heard him say he probably don't want the rematch, so I can understand not wanting to give a guy, um, an extra chance to make some money, and on top of that, you probably don't trust them because when a person cheats, allegedly, when a person gets caught cheating, right? The first thing I don't know what comes to your mind, but the first thing that comes to my mind, that's the first time you did it or the first time you got caught.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
So that
Of
comes to
course,
my mind.
of course.
So, and I'm saying that for a reason because, you know, what if you can do it and get away with it? Everybody don't have that kind of integrity. I don't know. Whatever decision Devin made, I wish him the best. But I will say that, boxing is a humbling sport. And the one thing that I know that they wish that they could do different is not allow that 3 pounds. You know what I mean? That came back to bite him. You know, um, if he was overweight, it's a lot of things you could have done to play with that. But the number one thing you could have done to play with that is say, okay, you can only rehydrate the 150, or you can only rehydrate the 153. You can't come in 143 at the weigh-in and then come in whatever you want to do at the ring and just pay me because you understand what I'm saying? I think that was a humbling experience for Devin and his team because they just took the money like, all right, we confident we gonna beat him, but you never know when the guy go up here and maybe you having a little bit of an off night and y'all meet right in that place. You never know. You can't take nothing for granted in boxing. You can't. And I think that was the one thing that they did that I'm assuming that they wish they could have back. Because you don't want to blow the money and blow the whole show, but at the same time, you want to give Devin his best competitive chance to win, and letting Ryan come in, even though Ryan paid him the fine or whatever, he still got to rehydrate as high as he wanted. So you can't have both. I'm not a big guy on rehydration clauses. I believe if you make the weight legally, you make the weight legally. You know what I mean? Like as long as you didn't cheat to make the weight, because guys who rehydrate high, they also cut a whole bunch of weight. People forget that. They also got to cut 30, 40 pounds in camp. So it's not like that they didn't suffer during camp. So sometimes you get it all back in 36 hours and sometimes you don't. But if you get to come in heavy and rehydrate to what you want, you got a major advantage.
Mm. Now, like obviously, Haney has the reputation of coming in very heavy in the fights. Do you feel like that's a lot? That's a big advantage point that he has. That once he makes that weight, he has that limited of time to rehydrate. So therefore, Ryan probably doesn't have that in his body and of nature. So he did come in 3 pounds and kind of made it a little bit more even.
I don't think it was even. I think that Ryan Garcia had the advantage by coming in heavy. Um, I don't I don't have no
How much did
opinion
that
on
does it matter how much they come in there then? Like
say that
or like
again.
does it obviously matters how much they come in the ring. I don't know if that
Yeah,
I don't think that that
it
information
does.
hasn't. Do you know
It
he was
does.
heavier?
It does. I don't know who was heavier. I don't know who was heavier, but like I hear people talking about how high Devin rehydrates, but as long as he's making the weight and he's not cheating, how high he rehydrate is how high he rehydrate. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really have too big of a opinion on that if there's no rehydration clauses in there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like as long as he's making the weight
you
without
sign up
cheating,
for it.
you sign up for that. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Like Devin Haney rehydrates 20 pounds.
Like
I'm like,
you
so
and
what?
like Caleb Plant and Benavidez. I'm pretty sure you guys is like he probably gonna come in there like
What can we say?
can't.
We can't say anything. So I don't understand how people complaining or comparing that Devin Haney might rehydrate high. So what? If there's no rematch clause, he's not breaking any rules. He can rehydrate as much as he wants to rehydrate.
Mm,
You know what I mean? So I don't have a problem with anything. Devin Haney, in my opinion, is a clean fighter. He's never tested positive for anything. And just because a lot of guys rehydrate high, bro. That didn't start with Devin Haney. A lot of people put 20 pounds on after weigh-ins. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I really don't. Like, I don't. Some guys rehydrate high. Some guys rehydrate in the middle. And some guys rehydrate low. Like Caleb is a guy who rehydrates kind of low. David Benavidez looks like a guy that rehydrates high. What are we gonna do? Say, oh, he rehydrated too high? You never heard me make that excuse.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You never heard me make that excuse one time. We signed up for that. We didn't tell him how high he could rehydrate. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't get into that. I think that that's crying over spilled milk and that's looking back on things, trying to come up with an excuse to say something bad. Devin Haney didn't test positive for anything, and as far as I know, he never broke any rules as far as his rehydration is concerned.
Right, right. Um, but nevertheless, man, I really appreciate you for tapping in, Coach. Um, we gotta set up another one right after the fights this week, and after you know, we got here Adrian Broner versus Blake Cobbs. I definitely want to get your reaction off of that, and obviously, Xander Sayas is, he's coming on this main event on Puerto Rican Parade. He's fighting a guy that you know I think a guy that went the distance with Brian Castano. Um, he has 4 losses, 30 35 wins, I believe. This is a step up, obviously. Probably a lead up to maybe, if he can get the KO, possibly get a full, possibly a Brian Castano fight in the future, probably next.
I thought Castano. I haven't heard about him in a long time.
I know.
Um, I don't know. Xander, what's his name? Xander Z-
Zayas.
Zayas. He's a decent prospect. I think he should win this fight. He's fighting the guy who beat Carlos Adames, left-handed guy. I forget his name, but I think Catcher Textera.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
I think he should be okay with him. But Zayas is he's not um as advanced as some of the other guys coming up at 154, like the Virgil Ortizes, the Tim Zoos, even Fundora. I think he's about a year and a half to 2 years away from them in terms of development. What's the guy that Erickson Lubin beat? Um, Jesus Ramos. I think they're all ahead of Xander right now. I think he's a little younger, probably need a little bit more development from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nevertheless, Coach, I appreciate you for tapping in. And I'll give you a call. We can set it up for another one.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
God bless, man. Take it
All
easy.
right.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right.
Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel. It's your boy Mills from Mill City Boxing, home of the high level pro boxing media, the fighters channel, the trainers channel, the people's channel. See if Millie Moses wants to come on as well. So hold on one second. Then is that the real William Haney there? Is that the real William Haney? He said to drop the link. I hope it's one of them, not a troll. But let's see. If Bill wants to come up, he's always welcome. But respect, Bill. You have to respect, okay? Get you right now. Let's see. Smash the like button as well, guys. All right. Let's see. Please show us the same appreciation we show y'all. Come on, Bill. We appreciate what you bring to the table. But we just have to be respectful. That's all, brother. That's it, man. Respect go a long way. But hold on one second. Boom. Send him the YouTube link. It's right there. YouTube links right there in the chat. Devin here too. Let's go. Tap in and chop it up. You ask Devin any question. Tap the link, Bill, if that's really you. I don't think it's you, honestly. I don't think it's you. I don't think you will come on this fast. My opinion. You know what I mean? I don't think you think you simmered down a little bit. I think that's what I think. I think you simmered down a little bit. But nah, you definitely not Bill. You're over here talking about Devin and stuff like that. You know you can't have Devin Haney come over here by yourself. Either way, like I just want to ask the questions that people want. I want those are what I want. You feel me? That's what I want to do. I want to Zhang and AJ who wins. Oh, that was what I was gonna get at. I was gonna get at Zhang and AJ. I think right now AJ looking alright right now. Pause. Yeah, that's not Bill. That's a troll for sure. For sure. Salute to everybody in the chat as well. I'm gonna have to start up another one because we're gonna be going on with Shakur Stevenson's coach as well. So we've been real busy today, so we won't keep them going. And then I'll get back to you guys in a few. God bless, and on to the next. Oh, well, matter of fact, we got Zab over here too. He already came out, so it's always a party before champ.